Congratulations on graduating, by the way.
Thank you.
So first workout out there, they've thrown a lot at you, obviously, in these mini camps. How do you think it went? And we saw you making some plays there, especially late in the day.
Yeah, man. I feel like Coach B-Mac is a great coach. He been standing on me, He told me, I have to get in shape coming in. He just running drills and running short routes and all of that. So just kind of trying to prepare myself.
How much have you been diving into the playbook since you arrived?
Yeah, I've been diving into the playbook really hard, looking over it at night, getting that install, trying to perfect that, because that's a, key aspect to you getting on the field and playing like I want to play early.
What role are you primarily focusing on right now, or are you cross-training in all the roles?
I would say just getting better at every day, working on my craft, staying in that playbook. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to doing right now.
I was going to say, I know with Zach Robinson, traditionally that offense hasn't had a true X receiver, but I know also in past years we did see that a little bit more. So for you, is there one particular spot that you feel like you're kind of honing in on a little bit?
Yeah,
or
I
you
say
just kind of learn it all right
that
now?
X position for sure.
You had a chance to meet any guys in the room, the veterans at all, or?
Oh, yeah, not yet. I met Greeny though, but he was pretty cool. Kind of advanced. He's helping me learn right now.
The fact that rookie receivers have had opportunities to make real impact the last 2 years, whether it was Jalen McMillan a couple years ago, where 7 touchdowns in the final 5 games, led the league with that, and then last year Emeka Buka and Tez Johnson both. Does that excite you, knowing that you could have opportunities to get out there right away and do something for this team?
Yeah, that's definitely motivation for me. Seeing a younger guy come in and step into that role and be a professional, also cause an impact on the game early. Yeah, that's motivation for me.
You're going to get to work with Baker Mayfield this season and coming up soon. Just talk about your excitement level to play with him.
Yeah, man. He's a great quarterback, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure he knows how to make every throw. So just learning from him. Him teaching me if I ever get the chance to, that'd be amazing.
Ted, what do you think the biggest challenge is for you adjusting to the pro game? Maybe adjusting to physicality, or what is it that you think?
I just say overall, I've got a pretty good feel for the game, but I would just say becoming a pro and how to go about things like the small things, the resources outside, your nutrition, weight room, recovery, all those small things.
With your story, no stars, coming out of Georgia State, do you feel like you made it? Do you feel like you still got something to prove? Where's your mindset right now?
Yeah, I definitely feel like, I still got something to prove. There's a lot of doubters on, my potential and where I can go at, in this profession. But, I have that talk with myself, and it's kind of like, a little fuel to my fire, I'll say.
You mentioned you could have gone, left Georgia State. You decided to stay there. But then when you went to the Senior Bowl and got to compete against, guys at another level, and you dominated, how much confidence did that give you and the ability to show scouts what you were capable of?
Yeah, I'd say I got, great confidence, but I believe, if I prepare myself the right way every time, it doesn't matter who I go against.
You mentioned talking to yourself. I don't know if you're comfortable revealing this, but what are some of those conversations you have? Are we talking about daily affirmations and things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I start my morning off. I actually got this book. It's called 1 Minute with God. And I start my day out by reading that book, and that's confidence, and God's a big part of my life, so I use that to I say start my day.
How has God impacted your football journey?
Man, yeah, I've been lucky to not run into any crazy injuries. It also gave me an opportunity for other people to look at me. And, just coming from where I come from, a lot of guys don't get that opportunity. And he's just been amazing financially, helping me out, and everything. I believe that comes from God.
How do you like Tampa so far?
It's hot. It's hot.
Georgia?
Yeah, it's hot in Georgia. Yeah, it's a little more hot out here, though, for sure.
We do get a breeze, though. Being not landlocked does allow some breeze. What you really got to worry about is when those flags are not moving upstairs. When they're stationary, it gets bad. In August and July.
Yeah, they said around training camp, it's going to get even crazier.
Mm-hmm. You got time to acclimate, though.
Yeah,
it's a process.
Definitely.
Ball said even yesterday, that's a big thing at the start of Rookie Minicamp. Seeing how guys adjust to the heat, you feel like you'll be able to handle that?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Just give me about a week. I'll be okay.
If I remember correctly, you caught the last pass of practice, I think, yesterday. Like, the importance for you, because a lot of times, especially when you are physically fatigued, mental fatigue, like, that's when you have to kind of look for guys to maybe, like, you know, do they have the same level of concentration then? How important is it for you to finish practice on a high note?
Yeah, I kind of always tell myself, you know, my brother's really hard on me about what's my why. And, you know, when you get tired and fatigued, you know, think about that why and that reason that you're out here. And just let that motivate you to go, you know, go hard when you're tired at times.
What is your why?
My why is, I have a niece. My older brother had a daughter, and, you know, he kind of paved the way for me in my profession and where I'm at today. And I got a younger brother, and I feel like, you know, if he can use my name to open the door for him, then, you know, that's amazing.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your older brother?
Yeah, man, my brother is a kind of, you know, my backbone, my right-hand man. At the same time, he's amazing, graduated college in chemistry. I don't know, he's a nerd. Played football for 4 years.
Where did he go?
At Valdosta State. Got injured twice, shook back from both of those, so I commend him for that. You know, I know that can be, you know, pretty challenging, you know, mentally and physically. And he won a championship in high school, won a championship in college. So he went to play arena ball, actually, and won a championship there, so it commends to him.
Ted, as you enter the NFL, what is the best attribute you bring to the Buccaneers, and what's the one thing you really want to work on at this level?
I'll just say I bring value. Whether it's going to be on special teams or rather it's going to be on the field making plays, you know, I'm going to show up every time it's asked to. And, you know, some things I want to work on is just, you know, being detailed. It's a very detail-oriented game, and I learned that yesterday. You know, just running through routes, you have to be in a specific spot, a specific place. Or, you know, just small things can make you more open or can open up another lane for another guy.
In your decision to stay at Georgia State, you talked a lot about loyalty to your position coach. Can you just speak on what loyalty means to you and how important that is?
Yeah. I'll say when I first met my position coach, Coach Damian Craig, he gave me nothing but the truth. He said, you know, this the guys I have in my room. This where I feel you can play at. This where I feel you can do. You know, and if you have the opportunity to do that, you know, you're going to put yourself in a position to be where I'm at today. And he was very hard on me, grounded on me about being in the playbook and, you know, how that can transition to where I'm at now.
What was his advice for you coming into this? He's got some familiarity with the Bucs too. He's had some guys he's worked with that have been here.
Yeah, just stay grounded. You know, get in that playbook. You know, they're gonna see your potential. Just keep working hard.
They threw a lot at you guys, but for the quarterback Jalen Daniels you were working with yesterday, what was your impression of him having to handle that the first day?
Yeah, I know that probably is a lot on his end, just having to know every route and everything and the protection and all of this. So I commend to him for sure. He had a great day.
Do you want us to refer to you as Hurst the Third or just Hurst?
Hurst will be okay.
Okay.
Well, what do you prefer? You said
Yeah, Hurst will be okay.
Ted, you're coming into this room with an established guy, Chris Godwin, #2 receiver in Bucs history, as well as some younger receivers that are more your age that have also had a lot of early success. What does that mean to come in and just have a bank of people that have had success here with Baker Mayfield throwing the ball that can help accelerate your learning curve?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going, whenever they get around, you know, try to stick in those guys, you know, hip pocket and learn, you know, everything they learn. I know they're probably going to be willing to teach me anyway, so definitely be in that hip pocket.
Wade mentioned that you graduated from Georgia State.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How important was that to you to make sure that you did that before beginning your NFL career?
Yeah, I kind of was really ready to get here. I didn't want to miss anything, but, you know, that's a big piece for my mom. You know, having 5 kids, 4 of her kids graduated. So, you know, that was a big thing, big deal.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.